Dice roll. Dice roll.
Picture of a little child.
It's a 1! Welcome to our Reroll!
Picture of Dudley and the most mismatched group in history. You know?
And we're live!
Prize as the Order of Adolis and the Prince of 1,000 Blossoms and the death of everything you've ever loved!
Yeah. Christy, thanks for the resub.
Christy, take your pets off!
15 months.
Oh my
I need a
God.
clip. I need a clip of me just fucking going off with Satch playing that. If somebody can send me a clip of that on Discord, I would love you forever.
I thought it was perfect.
That was pretty good.
It was admittedly, unexpectedly good. Let's call it.
Sure, let's call it that. Whether it was or wasn't, we're calling it that.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Let's kick it off. Let's go.
And these are their stories.
About. Right?
Okay. Now to see if I can step away from the cream stream and Shagged Ming an old man.
Oh, you could never step away from the creams.
Oh no! It got worse.
You want to trust forever?
I don't know what's worse, the fact that you started saying it, the fact that I couldn't not say it with you like that. Because now I have to find that headspace where I can start narrating gruesome, dark things without grinning like an idiot because cream stream, which will result in 0 grim, dark narration.
Sorry. I won't. I'll refrain from repeating it.
Matt,
What?
camera's working.
Is it working? I'm also not moving much.
Don't hold very
guys-
still.
Can you guys see me
Yeah,
doing
it
some
actually
moves?
is working. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
do the Muppet arms.
Did it work? Okay,
Alright.
I'm gonna help you get into the headspace. Ready?
All right, let's do it.
Death, destruction, creeping terror across the lands.
Did you just say cream terror?
Yeah, creeping. No, I didn't say creep. No.
Because I heard it too.
Cream terror.
A creeping terror across the lands.
I was like, wow, we are drifting further and further and further from Twitch safe content before we talk.
The creeping terror.
Creeping terror, not creaming terror. That's
I tried.
Noble attempt, man. It was a good attempt, Snuff.
Thank you. I tried.
it was
Oh,
almost
jeez.
there. I gotta channel my deepest inner edgelord. I can do this. It's okay. I can call me an edgelord. It's fine.
That's what they called me in high school.
That's like, I mean, they never stopped calling me.
Damn it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm fully.
Oh man!
Wait, they called you an edgelord in high school, or
Oh,
did they
no.
or did they call him
Where'd
the
Snugs go?
creaming terror in high school? Now I don't know what's what.
He's
Oh,
back.
he's
He's
back.
back.
Nope.
He's
Oh,
he's gone.
he's gone again.
Nope, he's
Oh,
gone again.
shit. Got
Camera's
all
We're getting a lot
screwed
more
up.
done this way. Yeah.
Oh my god, I
There
hate
he
this thing
is.
so much.
There you are.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Your camera's
Oh,
frozen
and
again.
It just crashes. It just crashes for no reason.
Did you try, don't do this now, did you try uninstalling Discord and reinstalling Discord?
I do not recommend doing that. That is a pain in the ass.
No, I didn't.
Because if you're uninstalling Discord, it doesn't uninstall all of itself, and you have to get the rest of it, and that's part of how you run into that obnoxious, like, infinite update 1 out of 1 loop.
Okay.
That's happened to me like 3 times.
We're just gonna roll with it, I
I'm
guess.
bitter and scarred. This is my trauma, okay?
Yeah, guys, let's
This
just
is
re-roll
my
through
trauma.
this.
Alright, let's go.
Did you just make a how we roll
I'm
joke?
sorry.
Let's re-roll.
I'm sorry.
Did you just
did
do
that?
that, dude?
Let's start
I
the
don't-
fucking story.
The story's already started. We're having a problem getting back into the middle of it, Jane, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on. You know what? I can do this. I just gotta play. It's a good. Oh yeah, give me some like
Girls just want to have fun.
some Johnny Cash.
Oh, well, that works, I guess, too.
Yeah.
You should do Ramstein.
I will cure myself
Hi,
of the
dude,
creamy
little-
giggles.
Little Du Hast.
Too hot.
And this is why I suggested we start with a Q&A.
That's hold on. All right.
I heard a train a coming.
Who is this? The Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Never heard of them.
They're trying real hard with that name.
They really are. They're trying real hard with this sound. I can get behind this.
What are some cool names, words we could put together and make it sound cool? They're for sure European, right? What if we went with like the black and the motorcycle and a club? Is that cool? Is that cool? That's cool, yeah?
What is a Swedish doctor doing?
Yeah. Put into a discotheque. Oh, you're right. The Black Motorcycle Discotheque Club. That's cool.
Now you're channeling like classic SNL right now.
Cool.
Like I can't even go there. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done.
All right. Anyone in chat have any questions? Well, Grant gets in the proper.
I gotta. This is Matt's fault. I gotta undo Matt.
Why is it my fault?
I'm blaming you because blaming Shaggin is getting old, just like Shaggin.
Did I look at myself? Yeah.
Did you not just see the very foundation of fault within yourself the moment you did? You wake up and look at yourself and go, oh.
You know, there's some people in chat tonight who would 100% agree with you on that.
I can't say I look at myself first thing in the morning ever.
Oh.
So.
Oh no, not this again.
Purple Sage. Gore has bad weather in Louisiana that kind of mucked with his internet.
Yeah.
So
he's got no internet.
We're streaming. Well, Jane's streaming, hence the no bells and whistles, and maybe Gore will join us later on, but it's not looking good.
Look how intense he's getting, guys. Look at him.
Shut the fuck up.
He can't hear me. He took his headphones off. We can comment to our heart's delight.
Oh, we can.
He'll never know.
He might hear us.
Not if we whisper. Shut
Don't
up.
Don't break his immersion.
Don't break the immersion.
Immersion is really important.
What's he cooking up in that brain right now? What's he thinking of?
He's thinking
of shit! He's got it.
Okay.
Okay,
I got this. What is the marching order? Who's in the front of this mess?
Oberdon was first.
Oberdon for sure.
Yeah, always. And I'm usually the last.
His sword's lit up.
Last.
Yeah.
Then Dudley, because Dudley needs all watch he can get.
Yeah.
Then Emery, and then my character, and then Snugs.
Yeah.
All right. So Dudley.
Yes.
Oberdon descends down the stairs. And whereas when you first kind of entered the Crimson House, the floorboards kind of creaked in protest of his weight because he's wearing full plate armor. Mm-hmm. Now that groaning of the wood sounds more like a warning than it does a protest. Like they've already seen this, but you don't have to. And as his blade that he holds out in front of himself with the shining light kind of reflects off of the wet, bloody runes on the wall at the base of the stairwell, the first thing you're going to notice is the smell. It's not the smell of rot. It's not the smell of decay like a corpse that's gone unattended. It's twofold. One, it's got that kind of tangy metallic scent that blood has, which means that there's been a lot of blood, but there hasn't been a lot of rot. Which means that somebody or something here not only spills the blood, but disposes of the bodies on a regular basis. The second thing you're going to smell is, at first it strikes you like charcoal, like meat on the grill, like a good pork, and then you realize that's not pork. And the fact that you thought it was pork gives you that sense of, oh god, as the revelation sets in.
Okay.
I'm oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna kind of slow to like a stop before we get to the bottom, and just be like, "Do you guys smell that?"
Pork?
Yeah.
I don't think it's pork. Emery, can I have a spell? Just anything. Just in case something happens.
Yeah, just... I have to look through my spell list to see which one I would throw at you, but... Let me get in this.
They're just gonna...
Probably just gonna give you something like a...
Okay.
I'm probably just gonna give you like a heal spell and just be like... Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Be prepared for anything. Let's go, Oberdon.
Oberdon leads the way, and his heavy armor clanks against the now dirt floor with that muffled thud with each step, instead of like the scrape of metal on wood or the distinct sound of metal on stone. It's that muted noise. And he holds the blade out, and as he kind of like pans his blade from left to right, showing whatever it is that is to be there, the first thing you'll see is that in the distance, this whole basement has been cleared out. It's only suspended by the occasional pillar that keeps the whole upper floor. All of the walls had been knocked down probably before the shattering, judging by how like old and worn over it all is. Because they needed space, there are metal tables, 5 or 6 of them, all 5 or 6 feet apart easily, and they all have straps, leather belts hanging from their sides, except for the one, which the leather belts aren't hanging from the sides, they're strapping some sort of shape to the table. In the far distance, there is some sort of twisted-looking altar, some sort of statue that has 4 arms. It's a masculine shape with 3 heads, one of a goat, one of a snake, one... You don't even know what that is, actually. It's definitely supposed to be a head. And it's sitting with its legs crossed in a brazier, a brazier? A fireball!
Brazier.
A brazier. Kind of like sitting in its lap. And there are bones where you would expect to normally see kindling. They're all charred. The silence here is the sort of silence you would expect to be suddenly shot down by a startled scream. But that startled scream doesn't happen, which is somehow worse. Oberdon's gonna start moving in and looking around and muttering to himself.
I think we're all gonna follow.
Yeah. Slowly,
As the
carefully.
claps come from above.
That's my end. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be being in the back. I'll be keeping an eye out to make sure nothing spooks us from behind either.
Okay, so I want you to roll me, make sure there's no spooks from behind. That'll be a search check.
Search? Okay.
Who wants to be the one who's investigating? It'd probably be Emery.
Search or spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actively paying attention. Search.
Search, okay.
Emery, you can roll me knowledge search. You can roll me religion search. You could roll me any number of things based on what sort of investigating you're doing here.
Yeah, I'd probably start with religion because that's where my mind goes.
Can I do a the comprehend humanity? What the fuck is this? No.
I mean, from this, you're going to guess, like from the others' reactions, you're going to guess that this isn't good. But if this is
No, I know.
normal, you still don't know. So,
I mean,
roll
no,
me.
like really, it's like clearing out the walls and crap. You know, it's just such to make an open space, subterranean kind of deal.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me.
It's a little odd.
You're a user dwarf. You might knows a thing or two about building stuff.
Yeah, but that's about the construction of the whole thing. About the floor, will it crash down on us kind of deal.
Right.
Yeah. What to roll knowledge?
What's your hit dice? You're a dwarf.
Yeah.
Roll me int plus your number of hit dice.
Okay.
Okay.
Who needs rule books? I can just I know what the stats mean. I can make it up. That's fine.
Oh, this is going to be really bad. But
It's
that's
like
my hit.
roll to see how dwarfy you are.
6. You're 6 dwarfy.
You are 6 dwarfy.
Yeah.
So, at the very least, you can tell that the place isn't going to collapse.
Okay.
But this is not how the dwarves would have chosen to build this sort of environment, and it's clear to you that this was a makeshift choice done after the place was built. Like, this might have been like a wine cellar or even like a storage facility for like grains.
Okay, so as the others are doing their searches, I'm going to basically see if there's like a tunnel or something that's an offshoot that goes away from the building.
Yep.
Or if it is just these kind of 2 chambers we're in, the table chamber and the altar chamber.
All right, you roll me search. What about creepy from behind?
I rolled a 4.
Lucky you. There doesn't seem to be anything creeping up on you from behind.
Oh, cool.
Aw.
What is Duds doing?
I'm kind of looking at the table with something that's strapped there. Just try to figure out what that is.
Oh, before I terrorize you, what is Emery doing?
Oh, right. So yeah, I was trying to get more of a sense for, because I'm almost certain that this cult it works for some sort of religious purpose, but I wanted to see if I could more understand. So I rolled a knowledge religion on it.
Yep.
And I got a 24. Basically, I just want to know what the heck was this? What the heck is this?
The altar you're looking at, you will recognize, and of course you would be the one to recognize it because that is the material depiction of the Prince of 1,000 Blossoms.
Oh.
That's not something many people have gazed upon. As it goes, to gaze upon the prince is to blind yourself. And it's one of the reasons he was put away. To gaze upon him is to blind yourself. To know him is to lose your grip on reality. Because by knowing him, you must accept things that utterly destabilize your understanding of everything else. He is effectively that which men do not know. That's who that is, which means that somebody is familiar enough with him in order to accurately make that depiction based on the lore, because obviously no mortal has ever seen him and then also been able to look at a statue to confirm it looks like him. These tables, though, the Prince of 1,000 Blossoms, he has an agenda. He was the son of the creators. And to him, every time mortals create anything that is lasting, that's an affront, that's an insult, that is a pale imitation to the glory that his parents created. And the whole thing that he did was that he turned on mortals because they dared to create as if they didn't know their place. And that's what he did, and that was his whole motivation for the shit that he got locked away for. And what you're seeing here, these tables, they all show signs of extensive use. And that use would be surgical, from what you're guessing, based on, like, you know, the markings, the bloodstains, the straps, the tools that are kind of, like, scattered around. Unless somebody is distinctly into torture, this seems like a medical or a scientific endeavor to you, and you would be the one who'd be able to discern that. So, the whole concept of the Prince of 1,000 Blossoms overlooking any sort of mortal creation or mortal advancement of understanding, that's paradoxical in and of itself.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at it. It's like they made... If they're making shrines to him, wouldn't that upset him?
Yes. As a matter of fact, he is a god that very much does not want to be worshipped by you. The fact that you even know enough about him to worship him disgusts him. That makes him feel like he's low, a lesser being than he should be.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oof. So we got some confused little creeps around here.
So, Dudley.
Yes.
You find, strapped to that table, what used to be a halfling.
Now it all
Does
makes
he
sense.
look
The fuckery
familiar?
has begun.
Does
I
it
get
look like a familiar halfling?
You have given the GM pause. I must consult my notes.
Okay.
Oh, wait, that's your mom? Oh, that's your mom.
It's Jimmy the Halfling.
Jimmy.
Any minute that you want to load the tabs there. Thank you, Google Docs. Let's see. That is the wrong tab. This is...
How old is Dudley again?
17.
Oh, you take it that innocence, aren't you?
Yeah.
Have you ever met me?
No. I approve wholeheartedly. Turn Dudley into a...
It is not your father, but it is a familiar face. It is one of the members of the Adventurers Guild.
Which one?
Well, which ones do I have to pick from?
There was the leader, Beaver, and then a whole bunch of, names you can make right up.
What a tapestry you've woven.
It wasn't Beaver that you met
Thank God.
in the that was with the bandits.
No, you had made up an I can't recall it. But yeah, I did meet that one guild member.
Yeah, I need a name because I'm
Probably
not
like
torturing you with Beaver yet.
Skip or
Skip's good.
Skippy, Beaver, Dudley.
This sounds legit.
Yeah, I like it.
He's dying over there.
It's so stupid. I love it so much.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean stupid? This is Dudley's life.
Yeah, seriously.
Skippy. Okay, so you know how Dudley is like the little sibling to this group, or maybe the child and the child parent relationship, so to speak, where like everybody kind of want to looks after Dudley, and Dudley hasn't quite grown up all the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Skippy was in the guild. Skippy was such an inspiration of wholeheartedness and goodness and hope and niceness and trust that you drew inspiration from Skippy. Like, you watched Skippy do nice things and you learned more about the validity and the value of niceness just by being Skippy's friend.
So upon seeing and realizing who it is, you just hear me go, and I just fall to my knees, and I go, Skippy, no! And I kind of just place my hands over him, and just Skippy! I'm just kind of crying a little bit over him.
For everybody else's benefit, the shape on the table was a halfling. It's not like that anymore. Half of Skippy's body has been detached, and there are things that don't belong there attached to them. There's like 2 or 3 octopodian is a fancy word I'm using right now. Tentacles that come off of one shoulder. One of his feet has one of the, like, from the knees down, has been replaced with a digitigrade leg. There's another fancy word for you.
Jesus.
Digitigrade leg is like the backwards knee that a dog has,
Mhm.
where what you see as the knee is actually the heel.
Yeah.
That hoof looks really familiar to you, Otto, because you remember seeing 4 of them as the only thing that remained.
Oh.
The head has been, like, the face is still there, but it's been attached, like something else has been crammed into the head, and the skull had to be adjusted in its shape. The mouth itself, where your mouth ends, like your lips meet at the edges of the corners of your mouth, those go way back up Skippy's face now.
Mm-hmm. And as I'm crying in like some panicked attack, you just see light come from my hands, and I like press it onto him. I'm like, it's gonna be okay, Skippy, as I use the heal spell that I was just given from Emery to try to heal it. Please. And then you see just a little bright light emit to try to heal him.
I guess hearing all of this commotion, I would work my way over there and recognize what would be the work of the butcher, right?
That would be the work of the butcher, the very wizard that we talked about in previous episodes, yes.
Yes.
That is a distinctly him kind of thing to be doing. Also, that heal does nothing. That is one very dead Skippy.
It's not working.
Yeah.
It's probably. I'm gonna take a look at Oberdon real quick. It's probably for the best that it didn't. You'd have to witness it again.
What did they do to him? Who did this? Don't they know who he was?
I highly doubt he was concerned with who he was.
So, it would seem we now know what happened. The cult's leader is this wizard we were talking about. Right, Emery?
It would seem so. If not the leader, then a more prominent member, yes.
Aubrey kind of steps up because he was going down with Oberdon.
Yep.
And he puts a hand on Dudley's shoulder and he says, "So who was he?"
He was our peanut butter, our Skippy peanut butter of the group. He was more pure than even me. He was Skippy, one of my best friends. I really looked up to him, even though he's smaller than me by 2 inches. Who could have done this? His light was brighter than mine. Look at his face now.
Dodge, maybe you shouldn't look at his face now. Maybe it's for the better.
It's all cut up.
Yeah. Question for the DM. Does Skippy still have his badges on?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay. Dudley,
Yeah.
maybe, what if you were to take his badges and sort of carry them on in his honor going forward?
Of
Is
course.
that something that's allowed?
Of course.
Maybe also,
It's allowed.
if you didn't earn any of those, you could strive to earn some of them. It'll give you purpose moving forward, like Otto said.
Oh, I thought maybe it was like a finders keepers type thing, but okay.
I mean, it could be both.
You
Could be
cannot steal the badges off of a fallen guild member.
Well, technically, he's more octopus than Skippy.
Look what you-
Octopus! Oh my god!
Okay, so at this point, Aubrey, I'm fucking losing it. I want credit for keeping as straight a face as I am right now.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have to
Yeah,
say
There
this
is
is
nothing
this is
funnier to
rough.
me than the suffering of an innocent boy. Apparently, they called you edgelord in high school. So Aubrey puts his hand on. His hand is on Dudley's shoulder, and he kind of like squeezes the shoulder. He says, "Skippy was your reason to fight."
He embodied my reason to fight. He held the torch, you know?
And what does, if you could forgive me for this, what does that torch mean to you?
It's hope. Don't you know metaphors?
Yeah, I know a few of them. But I figured hearing it from you, being our wise leader and all, would be beneficial.
This is when I was going through the academy. He kind of pats the blade on his back. He says, "My torch is killing shit."
What?
He says, "The people who do things like this, to people like that, I have people like that. I actually don't know if they're still alive."
Don't you want to find out?
That's what I'm gonna do. But before I do that, I say Skippy deserves a little vengeance.
And a proper burial?
We'll give him a guild adventurer's burial. Yeah. That's what he deserves. The best of the best.
I'm actually quite curious to know what that entails.
You'll see.
Aubrey he'll pat Otto on the back. He says, I think you just about nailed it. These deaths are inevitable. That's one of the first things they teach you in the academy, is that your lights will die, and you need to carry those lights with you. Because the only way the light actually dies is if you let go of it.
Oh my god.
That's why we cite every name. I'll add him to my prayer book.
He says, yeah, that's the whole point. You're never gone until somebody lets go.
I can carry his light, and I know everyone has dead people, this is one of the first for me.
He says, it doesn't get easier.
But you do get stronger.
That's why we fight, so that this happens less.
I'm so glad I found you guys.
Aubrey will then turn, like he's gonna leave Duds and Skippy alone, and he's gonna walk across the room, I guess, and give Skippy and Duds some space. Mm-hmm. But while he's doing that, he's gonna make this face at Emery, he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about right now, and he's gonna be like, you're the one who's supposed to be all that, and he's giving you that how did I do face,
And I'm giving him the look that usually means, don't worry, I got your back. I covered it with something that sounds real, and people just trust me, so you're good. We're good.
There's some religious sounding bullshit all over this, and it'll be fine.
Exactly. that was our thing. So he would start the conversation. I would cover it up. People trust me. It's okay.
He's gonna head over to Hjorthurk. You were looking for spooky escapes, right?
Yeah.
Roll me search. Is there one?
I did. I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6. No, that was how dwarf you were.
No, that was
you
the
were
other
6 dwarfs.
I rolled 6 twice.
He did.
For real?
He did.
I rolled 6 twice. The dwarfy 6 was a 6, and the search was a 6 too. Yeah. That's why I didn't say anything, because
wait, aren't you 6th level?
Yeah.
That should give you 6 hit dice. Which means that you should have had +6 to your roll.
No, it's a search check.
No, the other one.
Oh, for my dwarfiness check? I should have rolled 68 minus 1?
No.
You should have rolled
1d20 +6.
That's
how much. That's how much. No. That's
You weren't
how
checking
dwarf
search.
you are.
You were checking to see how dwarfy you were with the architecture.
Okay.
And unless you had knowledge architecture on your sheet,
No, I don't.
I was trying to give you this is just an innate trait of dwarfitude. You have
Got
6
it.
dwarf hit dice. Roll me.
It's a 12.
Oh, it's a 6 again.
So you
6
rolled
plus 6.
2 more 6s,
6.
you know?
You're just actually 666 this.
He did.
That's as 6 as that roll could have possibly been, yeah.
Well,
Oh my god, that's right, I have profession cooking. Sorry, continue.
You could cook a Skippy.
Wow.
Oh, you're right.
Shaggin, have you considered using different dice?
Every campaign. Every fucking campaign.
Why
He
have
changes the color.
Because I changed the color. It doesn't work.
Oh, so the dice aren't the problem. You're the problem, is what you're telling me.
All right, I'll go pink because pink is sexy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Careful.
Thank you.
It's okay,
Thank
it's
you.
okay.
It was you or me. Somebody had to that. Okay. At some point next week, we're gonna be playing with Gorbad, and somebody's gonna be like, cream, and we're all gonna fucking lose our shit. He's not gonna have a fucking clue what we're talking about.
Oh, he'll rewatch.
Okay, so,
Yes.
there will in fact be a secret tunnel, but on a roll that bad, I cannot give you a convenient secret tunnel, nor can it be one that is good or nice or anything that you want it to be. It needs to be bad because the rolls were bad.
But that makes sense. I'm with you.
So for one, it is going to be a very cramped, short, thin tunnel. Two, the bottom of it is going to be covered in an inch or two of stagnant water that has had that tangy smelling blood
Tang.
kind of drifting through it for you don't know how long, and worse, you're going to feel airflow from it, which means it does go somewhere. Also, you're not certain what kinds of plants those are.
So, not to be an inconsiderate jackass, even though he Arthur kind of is, I'm gonna say, Dudley, I got a mission for you.
As
It's
I'm like
probably
turned
good for
around,
you to
like
get more
leaned
from-
over Skippy, not really. I probably maybe didn't hear you unless you were yelling.
Dudley,
Huh? What?
look,
Yeah.
shine that light into this tunnel. There's a path, but you're short, so it'll work.
Oh, do you have a real light for me and not the metaphorical light?
Emery or Oberdon can hook you up.
Oberdon will pull out his blade and he'll say something like, he'll pull out the blade. He says, "Come here, boy," and he'll decide that like the boy having something to look at and something to do would be nice. But then he's also going to say, "And Otto,
Yeah?
this is my best underbite voice."
Wow, good job.
He says, he says, "You're flexible, yes."
Oh, you know I am.
You see, the GM has noticed I have this pattern of throwing Otto under the bus whenever it would actually be Dudley's turn to go under the bus. So we're going to simulate that, and I'm going to suggest in my best underbite voice something that sounds like he would be saying you should do.
Bring it on.
He will then hold his blade out so that Otto and Dudley can see down the tunnel.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Problem
see.
number one: those plants are wriggling, like actively moving,
Okay.
and it's not the water making them do that.
Ooh.
Dudley, roll me the nature deuce.
Sure.
The nature dice. Deuce.
The nature deuce. I'll roll you the
Deuce.
nature deuce.
You know, like got the deuce in the reels, you know?
So before I go over there, though, you see me stash the badges in my pack, and I take 2 of the badges and I carefully place them over Skippy's eyes.
Oh my god.
Which badges?
Probably the one that has like a torch on it, probably for like, and then one has a campfire on it. So both related to fire and light. Okay.
Oh wow.
Someone watched Game of Thrones.
I did not. So don't ruin it.
Neither did I.
I gotta do that
Sorry,
still. Okay.
stop.
You are inviting disaster by
Yeah,
even
you just did. Okay, so
It's a good thing that I'm lazy and forget to read chat all the time. So
I'm rolling nature.
Yeah.
JKLM. No, is it? Knowledge, nature. There it is.
how much you get?
I got to 13.
Okay, so for a 13, you will notice that they have the stems of like common weeds, but the flower that blooms at the top
Yeah.
looks like nothing you've ever seen before. As a matter of fact, it reminds you of fish.
All right. Cool. I'll point that out then. I think the plants are alive. It seems to be more like some kind of animal or fish than a plant.
Well, aren't all plants alive?
Well, you know what I mean, like an animal.
Oh. Well, so is it gonna like eat us if we go down there?
Can't say for certain. We should test it out. I'm gonna look around for like a mouse or something. That's walking
Well,
around.
or
Or what?
no. Mouse is good. Mouse is good for now. Is there a mouse around?
Roll me search.
I think we're both looking, right?
Everybody's like, all right, I need a mouse. There's gotta be a rat around here somewhere, right? This is like dark, dank dungeon. Mice, yeah? Anybody?
20.
And all the rats are like, I'm not.
Nice. It's probably gonna be me. Let's see.
You got a 20, Duds?
He did.
Yeah.
What was it? Search.
Yeah.
I was tempted to be like, there are no mice. There is nothing living.
Ooh, I got a 19.
But
Ooh.
on a 20
And then
and a 19, I'm envisioning this moment where like Duds and Otto both start looking around, right? Looking around the walls or whatever, and then you both kind of see motion in the darkness, and then you look at each other, and then you just kind of like go in separate directions. And Otto is like moving over here, and Dudley is moving over here, and Dudley, being the party's ranger-esque adventurer guild huntsman, Otto will like make a whoo and spook the mouse, and the mouse will run right into Dudley's head. So give me your best whoo.
Ooh, I like your better. I like that.
Wow, that was like the least committal whoo.
That's what you did.
I know, right? I was.
You're a rat. I don't need to be like. Blah!
I don't know. You might have a strange relationship with rats. That's
You're right. I might, and that's my secret to know, and not yours.
fine. Don't like reveal anything interesting about yourself to the audience. Okay.
The rat reveal is
The rat reveal has. We haven't built up enough dramatic tension around that yet, Grant.
I have a relationship with mice. He's my boss. Get it?
No. Oh. Is that like a metaphorical mouse? Or like, what does that mean?
So you capture a rat. It's viciously clawing and snapping, much like everything else that has managed to survive at all in the wake of the shattering. This mouse is a self-serving, almost predatorial creature in its own right.
Okay, so I'm snatch the mouse up, or I'm gonna say, "You've lived a good life. Thank you for your service." And I'm gonna kind of toss it into the tunnel where the plants are that we want.
So
fish-like
you
plants.
toss the mouse in,
Yeah.
and it kind of like splashes around, and it immediately freaks and tries to turn around and climb out of the water that is like the blood-stained water, right? And it's trying to scramble up the sides of this tunnel, but it can't, and it starts to like desperately squeak, and then all of a sudden just goes under the water. It
Well,
gets
that
yanked
answers
onto the
that.
surface.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay.
I don't think we should go down there.
Yeah. I don't either. Do we need something down there? What?
Well, if there's evil there, we should probably deal with it.
I'm with the old man.
Is there a different entrance? A door?
Well, I mean, if this cult uses it, they obviously have a way to bypass whatever that thing is.
Unless it's waste disposal.
In which case, we don't need to go down there.
Unless there's something down there that they didn't intend to leave.
What if they're just gonna come back here, you know?
Well, then we should probably know if there's something in there that we can use to kill them, like one of their own creations.
So, how do we deal with that, Emery?
Couldn't we? Oh, go ahead, Emery.
I'm still mulling it over, I guess. It's kind of tricky here.
Emery, do you have any zappery?
I mean, yeah, but most of my zappery is like, it's not your time yet, zappery. And I want to make it that thing's time. My zappery isn't exactly.
I don't
Well,
know. You remember Mikey, right? He'd just like point at stuff and it would electrocute.
Yeah,
Is that not you?
no.
Oh.
I mean, maybe, but.
How is this a maybe? Emery, we've talked about this before. Yes and no is a binary proposition, alright? Unless you are really about to delve into some ookily spookily cosmological bullshit, this is a yes or no question.
Yes and no yes and no questions are a construct.
Sure. I have constructed one for you, and you have failed to answer it.
Because I'm failing to see how your construct represents reality. See, I'm starting to side with the prince at this point. Maybe we shouldn't be making things.
The point is, can you zap the water that all the bad guys are in?
Not with electricity.
Okay, that was what I needed to know.
Is there any kind of like poison we could just throw in the water? Kill them all?
I mean, those plants are growing on blood water. I'm not certain poison. I mean, there's no reason.
So what about holy water?
Can't we just reduce the water in there somehow?
Sure,
Does
we'll just
anyone
drink
have
it.
a long straw?
You got a bucket?
Like a super straw?
Our straw goes from one side of the room.
So I'm actually doing that.
Is the holy water idea bad?
What if we attack the tunnel, the top of the tunnel, so it caves in and buries all the things, and we walk? What's the structure? Would it like collapse just the whole thing?
What about? Oh God, what did you name the fucking carpet?
Alexis.
No, that's the old name.
No, we renamed it.
Oh, we did?
Pastel.
or something.
Pastel.
Pastel.
What about Pastel? Can Pastel still fly if we wrap somebody up in her? Like,
Is the tunnel big enough for that?
I could probably fit.
So you want to be like a mafia hit corpse and roll up into Lex and fly?
Is this
Pastel.
another one of those dwarven things?
It must be.
Yes, we have a mafia.
The dwarven mafia is now a thing.
Yes.
Apparently, yes. No. I mean,
Aubrey says, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've been a surprise delivery.
Yeah, but
could we do that for
usually,
everybody, though?
So what?
Sorry, go ahead, Satch.
usually when there's a surprise delivery, it's intended for someone whose understanding of things might be involved. This is, from the looks of it, some kind of moving death plant thing.
Well, I mean, I'd be wrapped up in the carpet with a whole bunch of armor on underneath that, right?
But could Pastel do that to all of us, even Oberdon?
I don't think Pastel wants to do it for Oberdon, but I think Pastel could probably manage. Oberdon's, I'm not fucking.
It's not natural.
It's not natural.
It's not the way of things. It's not how things are done. I don't care how well it ties the room together. I am not getting on that carpet. Young people use curse words.
At the very least,
I know.
at the very least, you should do it just to see what's on the other side. And if you get attacked, well, we'll carry your torch.
If something attacks me, you're not gonna need to carry my torch. I'll be fine. That's kind of my thing.
Okay.
If I don't find anything, I'll come back in. If I find something, I'll send Pastel. Pastel can grab Otto. Otto will back me up.
Okay. Come on, Pastel.
Hold on. I have
I
one
look
thing I
very
can do.
angrily at that motherfucker.
I have something I can do that might. It's just gonna take a minute, but it's probably better than
Is this
I
like a
don't know.
minute or like one of those minutes?
one of those minutes.
Okay, so he means like a half an hour.
Well, like 10 minutes. But
10 minutes or 10 of those minutes?
10 minutes is one of those minutes.
I'm just checking.
Ugh.
I may or may not have discovered that I have quite the propensity for playing the old friend, the little sibling, the obnoxious relative. It occurs to me you guys have no idea what the fuck this means. This is my community's sign for out of character, like side thought out of character. I don't want to disrupt what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That's what this is. Yeah.
So I'm going to begin casting clairaudience.
Clairaudience?
Well, clairvoyance. Basically, I can create a magical sensor and be as if I were in the room without being in the room. Which sounds exactly like what we need in this kind of condition.
Sure
so
does.
Wow, who'd have thought you had a spell that could do what we just spent the past 15 minutes plotting to figure out how to do?
Sounds like me.
At least I remembered this session, though.
Right? You didn't realize it like 3 sessions down the line, like, oh man, you remember that room? Yeah, I had this spell. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, no, clairvoyance allows me to basically put myself there, but not like actually being there.
So, before we spend one of those minutes, what are you talking about? You're not zapping the water.
No.
You're probably not blowing up what's on the other side. I'm
No,
going to guess you're not firing any of those arcane torpedo things.
I don't have arcane torpedo thing.
I know. That's why I'm disappointed in the fact that you don't, but you know that.
Yeah, I know.
So what sort of weirdly utilitarian oogly spookly are you talking about?
Basically, I'll be able to shift my perspective towards the end of that tunnel, and I'll be able to see from there if we even need to bother going there.
Oh, you can just look.
I mean, it's not like easy. It takes one of those minutes to do, so it's not like my first thought.
Yeah, this is easy for you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Aubrey immediately just like kicks back and suddenly looks so he suddenly looks like the most relaxed at-home person you can be, despite that he's literally in the mad scientist's lab next to the behemoth statue and the burnt bones, and he's just like, yeah, okay, we got this.
I'm just gonna start doing the little ritual here, building out like a bit of a sigil and focusing my energy towards, I don't know, shifting between planes and putting some perspective over that way.
All right. What are the mechanics here?
Clairvoyance creates an invisible magical sensor at a specific location that allows you to hear or see your choice, almost as if you were there. You don't need a line of sight or straight line of effect, but the locale must be known, a place familiar, or an obvious one, so I'd have to like look and see and then be able to do it.
Yep. So do you want to see or hear?
See.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Never deny your players the chance to hang themselves.
Mm.
Okay. It takes 10 minutes to cast. How long does it last?
It goes up to 640 feet for 6 minutes.
All right.
So basically, as long as I can see that.
Yeah. So you kind of kneel down and you sit down. And you're looking down the tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oberdon will hold the light so that you can see just barely to the other side, and the plants are like swaying, and it'll occur to you that they are all swaying together. Such that those aren't little plants; those are probably some sort of outcroppings of a singular entity.
It's a little shop of horrors up in that bitch.
Yeah.
Right? And so you will project your mind to the other side, and it is dark.
Yeah.
Do you have some way to see in darkness, or am I gonna give you like vague evil senses of what's happening?
So at that point, I imagine I'm just kind of like sitting there with my eyes shut, so it doesn't cross the streams, and I can focus more on that. And since I'm not seeing,
never cross the streams.
Don't want to cross the streams. Bad to cross the streams.
If it's so, the spell says if it's naturally pitch black, you can see in a 10-foot radius around the center of the spell's effect.
So it does. So this chamber that this tunnel goes into is not man-made built structure building. It's dug out. Rough hewn shovelfuls of dirt are just missing. It's not smoothed out. There doesn't seem to be any normal regular shape. And the water level kind of like not the water level, the ground level kind of like slopes up and out of the water before evening out into what amounts for a room. And as you don't see anything immediately in the first 10 feet as you kind of come out of the tunnel. But what you do see is as soon as you start moving that sense around and kind of like leaning and leering, just at the edges of your vision, you'll see bodies. The shapes of corpses. Just kind of like littered around the room. Some of them seem to have the wrong kinds of feet attached. And that's when you catch there is motion further back in the chamber than you can see. Like, you're seeing a black silhouette moving in an almost as black chamber, and you can only catch a sense of its immensity.
Okay.
And
then
it's rather shapeless form, as it's just kind of swaying a little this way and that way. You know, like all the little plants in the hallway.
Yeah. So you'll hear Dudley.
Yes.
Because I'm still focusing. I'll be like, please take this one.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you my casting of light.
Thank you.
Put it on a rock and chuck it down that hole.
All right. I'm gonna pick up not the smallest rock, but not the biggest rock. About that big.
Yeah, I think you have a sling, so you're probably the best for this.
Yeah.
So while this is all going on, right?
Yeah.
Aubrey has kind of got his hands folded behind his back. He's leaning against the wall, and he's kind of like, he looks over at Hjorthurk, and he doesn't use the words, right? But like with his general gesturing, you get the idea that what his meaning is this is what usually happens before we start happening. Like this is like everything is going according to Kaikoku right now, and we will soon be important. And he just seems to. That's what's going on right now.
Okay.
First the magicking, and then the punching and the stabbing. That's the natural order of things.
A little sternly gonna cross my arms and not nod back. I'm not nodding.
You're like, I don't like you right now. You picked Otto. Yeah.
You chose Otto over me just because I was tentacled while you were encaged, you know. Son of a bitch. I'm capable
To
too.
be fair, there might be tentacles on the other side of this tunnel, and you do have a history.
Yeah.
You should get advantage rolls on those now.
You failed every save versus tentacle we gave you. Like,
Can we move on? That was 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago.
it was so. There were so many tentacles, we don't even remember how long ago they were.
A few hours ago in this game, though, so.
So yeah. Take
So
the
you
rock.
Yep.
Take the rock. You see a bright light kind of transfer from my hand to the rock and light the rock up. I take out my slingshot, and then, I kind of get closer to the tunnel and aim and shoot towards the back as hard as I can.
All right. So you shoot, and the rock will shoot past your point of vision, Emery, and it'll hit the shape and bounce off.
That'll
And then
give
the
me a
shape
good view.
immediately turns to look at it.
Oh!
The shape itself is a very, very large shark head.
What?
Except for, instead of being attached to the body of a shark, the neck and the spine curl back, and you can see the spine and the seams and the stitches. And it breaks into vines, thick vines that are like 6 inches across, and there are tons of them, and they splay out underneath this thing that sways, and some of them dig into the walls and the dirt like roots.
Oh.
And others kind of dangle up and curl around the walls and the ceiling of the chamber you're in, and kind of like dangle. And you'll notice now motion that you didn't notice before, as one of those corpses that was just out of sight is being slowly lifted off the ground and pulled towards the shark-like mouth, and then dropped directly in front of it.
What?
And then you are treated to the beautiful sight of a human corpse being horrifically torn apart. Roll me a will save.
Okay.
I thought you were going to give us a street shark for a second.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sharks!
You see the head of a shark attached to, well, oddly enough, a human body, and he's wearing a leather jacket, and he's got a lead pipe, and he goes,
For the
"I don't
record,
want to mess with it."
you get crazy cool points for even knowing the words street sharks.
Yeah.
Street sharks was my childhood.
Yeah, man. I had the little puppet that you could put on your hand.
I actually play a wereshark pirate captain in a different game, and it is so street sharks that it is.
Oh, Emery.
I rolled an 11.
You did 1.
Well,
It
is an 11. But it is an 11.
Damn, your will is that high.
Yeah.
Cloistered cleric is some
Freaking
shit,
clerics,
man.
And you knew what street sharks were.
So
I did know what street sharks were. I was kind of ready for that.
Yeah, you were into that. I saw the disappointment on your face when I was narrating, and I was like, he was thinking it was going to be like a were shark, and then you said street sharks, and I was like,
I was like, because I started kind of like drawing it out. I'm like, okay, shark-shaped head. That looks kind of like a Carnotaurus, but that's okay. And then you started talking about the tentacles behind it. And I'm just like, oh, it's just like a cool version of a beholder.
yeah, it's a sharktopus.
Yeah.
With plant stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I need to watch that movie still. I still haven't seen Sharktopus.
You should do a watch party.
I should. What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna dig up my copy instead of digging it out of the fucking crates that I moved into this house like 3 years ago. Still haven't unpacked all my shit. So I'm gonna gonna open up my copy of Heroes of Horror. Because it has all kinds of fun ways for me to punish botched will saves when seeing horrific things.
I was gonna say, like, if you want to punish this nat 1 by adding one more creature to it.
A sharktopus jumps out of the shark. I mean, a street shark jumps out of the sharktopus mouth. Yeah. Which screen did this shit just pop up on? Holy fuck! My laptop woke up and the preview showed up here, and then the file opened up here, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
It happens. It happens.
All right. So, what is everybody else doing? Whilst the GM slightly pauses to look up a madness mechanic.
I'm looking at Emery's face to try to gauge reaction on what's on the other side.
Yeah, I'm just hanging, right, with Aubrey?
Yeah,
Just
no, because
chilling.
I'd probably be like muttering to myself about things, so at that point I'd just be like, it's not really a shark, it's not really an octopus, it's not really a shark or an octopus.
What is it?
Oh god, what has he got there? Oh wow, that's a lot of bodies. Oh, that's is that it? Okay, guys, that chicken is also a man, but he's also a bear, but he's also a chicken still. Sometimes maybe.
So Emery went insane.
And then I'm going to look up and see this, and we're going to see how insane I go.
Okay, so you just botched that. Where? Oh man, I might give you access to tainted feats. That sounds fun. Let's find out. Page 62.
No.
What?
My character's dead now, guys. But like dead worse than dead.
Now we'll have something to be sad about.
Well, that's the thing.
What's your wisdom score?
10. I have a plus 10 to wisdom.
Oh my god.
Your wisdom score is 10.
Oh, no, that's Will. Sorry.
Yeah, no, what is your wisdom?
Yeah. Which is
What is
ridiculous. I have a plus 10 and I roll a nat 1.
That's a 36, I think. Like, what is your actual wisdom score?
My wisdom score is total 20.
Jesus.
Ooh. All right.
It's a wise
roll
man.
Roll me 1d10.
Is this how much I'm losing? Oh boy.
Holy shit.
Wait, is higher better or?
It's a 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh man, what do I want to do to you? Oh no, that's perfect. Of course the dice picked that. All right. So there will be such a shock to your system, not just because you just watched somebody die. You're the priest of Adonis, like that.
Yeah.
Death is kind of your thing, but it's not the death that gets you. It's the violence. Because of the respect you have for the dead and their relationship both to the afterlife and the living, you can't see a corpse without understanding it is a person. And so you're not watching this monster chomp down on food. You're watching a person be mangled.
And then
by
mangled.
Many tentacular tongues. Many terribly tentacular tongues.
How many eyes does this thing have?
Roll me d6!
3.
Yeah, it's 3 eyes. It's got the 2 shark eyes it's supposed to have, and then it has some sort of large cycloptic eye that clearly was implanted in its head by somebody who shouldn't have been a surgeon in the first place.
See, that just makes it so much better.
Right?
I love this thing.
And it's the way that these shark fangs kind of tear the skin and the tendon from the bones, and you can hear the crunching, but it's also accompanied by that rotten squishing.
Well, I can't hear.
Well,
I can only see.
You can hear it echoing ever so faintly down that tunnel, though.
So it's like delayed, which makes it weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what'll happen is as that raw disgust and that primal horror swells up in you, something about the shattering has changed the world. We know that. It wasn't just the cruelty of mankind that swelled in the wake of the summoning of the Prince of a Thousand Blossoms and the loss of the Great War with the Undead Horde. It was reality slowly seems to have become more and more tainted, like the way the sun struggles to shine its light throughout every day, and noon is an experience in watching a celestial body choke, or the way that there's always that grimy fume in the air when you try and look at the stars that makes everything a little bit muddier. That's because the cosmos are no longer the same. They are scarred. They are shattered. That's why it's called the shattering. And when that deep of a primal fear swells in someone, it calls on the shattering and what was done to existence at that point that has made the world so much more horrible than it should be.
It kind of harkens back to the question of does chaos define order, or does order define chaos? And here, in a place where only chaos can thrive, what is order anyway?
And what winds up happening
so then,
that like what you've had basically is the shattering happened. The cosmos is now evilly aligned, basically, right? And then people do evil things, and the cosmos latches into that and manifests in ways it wouldn't before. So it is both the fact that literally the world is now a terrible place, and also the people in it are making that worse by allowing it to continue to grow and corrupt like a cancer. And that's what's going on. Your eye will function mostly when it's supposed to, but your left eye goes dead, like that kind of like ghostly cataract covered wrongness kind of like sets in as like you feel that shock, and then you feel the blood vessels burst in your eye. There's that pain, and then when that's all said and done, you'll have a dead eye.
Oh damn!
What?
Okay.
Oh my
He's
God.
never gonna see that spell again.
No, I'm actually not pulling it down at this point, because this is feeling. That's fucked. But no. I'm going catatonic at this point. The mumbling kind of stopped.
Can somebody roll me a d20 plus, we'll call it 3.
D20.
Aubrey's not known for his observational skills.
I'll roll it?
Yeah, do
Sure.
it.
Do it.
I have pink dice now?
Yeah,
Aubrey
that'll
likes
help.
pink.
Oh boy.
What did you roll me?
5.
Shag it.
You're just so angry at him for picking auto. This is Hjorthurk's vengeance. That's the name of the episode right there. Hjorthurk's vengeance.
I would name the episode "I See You."
So like this will all be going on, and like Aubrey will just be like casually talking with Otto about that time that Emery was doing the Oogly Spooklies, and he found a whole like crowd of zombies and stuff, and then they just went to town on those motherfuckers. It was so good, dude. Like he was so tired by the end of it, but he has never slept as good as he did the night that he worked himself to the bone fighting a horde of targets. And like he'll just keep going, and slowly, after some time of him like reminiscing about the good old days, which for him were like last week, but for everybody else was 7 years ago, he'll slowly like start to stop and look around. He's this normally doesn't take this long. M? Does he do this now? Is this a thing? Did I miss something?
Yeah, no, like that's it. That's what he's doing. He's just catatonic. His one eye is shot, and yeah.
No, I mean that was Aubrey looking to the group, asking like,
Yeah.
is this a thing he does now?
I don't know. He does stuff like this all the time.
Well, he usually mopes too, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot. Is he moping?
He's just sitting there.
Emery! I'm gonna
But
kind
he's
of
not
poke him.
moping. Oh, that's a little off.
Emery! Hey.
All right, that's enough of that. And Aubrey will literally just like walk over, pick Emery up. Like he could be fucking up a spell. He has no idea, right? He literally just marches over to Emery, just hoists him, potato sacks him, like sits him down on one of the tables, right? So that Emery is like looking at him with that catatonic, like 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Aubrey.
Yeah,
to the table with him.
And he says, he looks at
that'll kind of knock him out of the spell, but yeah, he's still like.
You said you had like magic hands, right?
Holy hands, different thing.
Holy is good for me.
I'm looking at Emery. Do I see the fucked up eye, or like?
If his eyes are open, yeah.
Yeah, they're open at this point.
Oberdon, Otto, Dudley.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with his face.
What?
Is that normal with spell crafting, spell casting, or whatever?
No.
I don't know.
Well, look.
My face is fine. I'm gonna approach and look at his. See what's wrong with him.
This is. I was gonna say, if you had the holy hand, you slapping him awake would do better than me, because I don't have a holy hand.
It really works more against the evil of the world, not the.
You think there's evil in his eyeball?
What am I saying? I was crowned, and he fucking hauls off and slaps Emery, and he's actually gonna pop off a small amount of his lay on hands.
Oh man.
And he's gonna BAM!
Awesome.
And there is a shimmer of like blue lightning and golden light where he claps across Emery's face. Just slap. There is no like. He's straight up like, oh, like.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it. Emery's just gonna come to and like kind of like blurrily look at it. There's a thing that should probably be not a thing for the sake of anything being left in the world worth saving. Not that it's itself that dire, but it does not belong on this plane.
What is
So what you're telling me is I need to hop into a carpet and go for a stabbing joyride.
Well, wait a second. I'm the leader here. What is it?
Okay.
I really like. Oh, sorry.
I heard earlier mention of fish. It's a really big one of those.
A big fish?
But you know how things are mixed up here. The back end of it has been replaced with living, like animated vine-like tendrils. It's attached itself to the end of the wall there. Pretty large. Feeds on the poor, abominized.
So it seems like it's trapped there.
They're feeding it their failed experiments.
Yeah, it's the garbage chute.
Yeah, there's no need to go in there and deal with it.
Why don't we?
Could we just fireball right through the tunnel?
Because any number of the people in there could have been someone's light.
Well, they're not anymore.
Wait, are they alive in there or dead?
Probably dead.
They're dead.
So
They're dead?
You want to go into the human garbage chute for occults to kill a thing that'll probably devour us because of corpses that you want to bury?
It's Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, don't we have... Okay, again, I'm all for doing things heroic, but don't we have bigger fish to fry? No pun intended. Actually, pun intended, I wrote that. Pun intended. I meant it.
I just don't see... I'm with Otto. I mean, if we go in there and fight this thing, even if we win, we'll hurt. And then what if the cult comes back and we climb through this little tunnel and they're all waiting for us and we're compromised, single file into their knives and blood?
Or if we do dispatch this thing, what if the cult comes back and just makes another one?
it would at least set them back.
Couldn't we find these cult members and feed them to this thing and then kill the thing?
Can Pastel just go in and grab the bodies?
It's a little risky.
Well, it's not gonna eat the carpet, right?
I could go in and protect the carpet.
I don't know about that.
Aubrey is like, gotta you go and he wants it so bad.
Wait. When the light went in there, how far back was it from the entrance to the tunnel?
Yeah, I don't know exactly as a player. But...
It's close enough that it has to use the vines to pull the food to it, but it's still cramped. It's only like 20, 25 feet deep.
So why don't we do what was already suggested and just get a bunch of arrows, light the tips, and try to burn the bastard?
I'm all for killing it from over here, especially if we can pull the bodies out.
Yeah, that would work just as well.
Is there a way for it to get over here if it wanted?
I'm not sure.
Assuming that walls stop it, which is not always a guarantee.
All right. I mean, yeah, if we do it for...
Probably be better to get some free shots off.
Let's get some arrows and bows or something. I'll get in the tunnel space.
You think there's a
maybe
chance
attach like liquor or something? You know,
there's a kitchen upstairs. We got liquor. We got oil. I like where this is going.
We all
and we also have a whole bunch of unsavory people who probably would relish in the kill.
You want to include them as well?
Any of them
seems
wanna...
dangerous. Do you think they're good fighters?
Like Aubrey makes a face like, I mean, if they're like, I'm not lamenting it if they're gone, but I don't want that on my conscience, man.
More. It's more just the trouble of because I figure if we all shoot at once.
Well, I was thinking we throw the flammables down, or you got a slingshot, right? Duds, you can slingshot the flammables down there.
Sure.
And then we just light it up. It's stuck in the choke point, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the best idea. And
We
that's
get the
the one
bodies
we're
out, and
gonna.
then we bonfire the dude out. You said he was a plant. He should burn.
That's the one we're gonna go with.
Hopefully.
Now, the only other problem with this plan, which is otherwise a good plan, is how do we smuggle oils and liquor down here without angering the dudes who like to consume it upstairs?
I don't think they noticed it last time.
I do believe we have someone whose particular talents involve getting in where they're not supposed to get and not being seen when they aren't supposed to be seen. And also, if I vaguely remember correctly, it's also worth remembering, I'm pretty certain I've seen you pop a little fire dude out of thin air once or twice.
Well, he's been known to come out when times are dire, but yeah, I've got a few tricks up the old sleeve. So what do we need? Just some alcohol, essentially?
If it can burn, I want it down here.
Okay.
If it can burn, Dudley wants it down here.
Oh. Then double okay. Otto is on the case.
Do we have
Thank you, Otto.
the ranged weaponry to all attack it at the same time? Because I'll be honest, I only have my hands.
I don't think we need to. If we get the flammables in there, in just lighting them up, it'll be trapped with the fire, right?
So just one.
Yeah, just one shot should do it.
Well, Oberdon, you have a crossbow, right? So.
Yes, I came prepared. Overbite.
I thought it was underbite.
Oh, it's an underbite. 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 Okay, yeah.
Nice. Make sure you're keeping.
Now I have an overbite voice. Who knew?
All right, I say we go upstairs and try to smuggle as much down as we can.
Oh, it's a we thing?
Go faster if we all assist, right?
It'll go faster if you guys do this. I would love to help, especially since we're going to be setting something on fire, and I like the idea of that. But I have a track record with being subtle.
Yeah,
in that
I
I don't do well with that. That would be not good for me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can help Otto. Jesus.
But you're
Yeah, Aubrey's like, the dwarf will be fine.
Yeah, you know, you'd be a pretty good distraction.
perfect. Go ahead,
I don't
guys.
intend to be a distraction. I intend.
Go for it.
I'm sorry. Are you good at sort of that whole shadowy deal? Is that a thing you do? I've never seen you do it.
That might be a sign that he's good
I'm gonna count to 10, and you're gonna hide.
This is unnecessary.
I'm punching Otto in the chest.
You
You cover your face, and you're goading me into hiding for you?
Goading? I'm trying to see if you are good at this sort of thing. I need to test out the people who take on jobs with me.
So it's Otto. I don't think that was Hjorthur saying he was going to punch you in the chest. I think that was Shagget saying Hjorthur punched
punching you in the chest.
Okay, so I'll be like, 1.
All right, show me what this looks like. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
4. Why did you do that? Oh, I can't believe.
Now you're looking to the ground. I'm invisible.
It's not funny. It's not funny at all. You're gonna regret that.
Aubrey will pat Otto on the back
Hjorthur.
and give him a point of lay on hands.
Ooh.
That's not good team camaraderie.
Just kidding. I'm fine the whole time. As you can see, like really hard breathing still. You thought I was serious. I got you. That's how it's done, sir.
I'm gonna pat Otto on the shoulder too. And be like, can we get the crap now?
Yes, if you'll excuse me, I have some work to do.
Oh my god.
Bravo! That earns an inspiration in my book.
Agreed.
Yeah, good play.
That was amazing.
That was a really nice slide out of frame with that.
Right from the just kidding, I'm fine. To the sliding off camera.
And it was so obvious I was not, by the way.
That was magnifique. All right, so Otto, give me a general stealth check, and Hjorthur, give me a general stealth check.
Yeah, my stealth is really not good.
After all that,
Yeah, I know that. I know you know that. Stealth. I don't have stealth.
It's hide or move silently.
hide. I don't think moving silently is necessary.
Okay.
It's a fucking tavern. People will hear footsteps. Oh no!
Come on, roll well, please, for the sake of my.
Stream advisor.
Yeah, there it is.
Look at you.
20, baby.
What'd you get?
Where
Otto?
was that?
Did you
Oh,
roll
I got-
lower than a 20?
Oh god, no! I got a 28.
Oh, okay. I was going to laugh if you botched and he got a 20. That was going to be so perfect.
I was worried for a second.
All right. So, you guys will find some crap spirits. There's a lot. Actually, this might bring some of you some joy. There is a lot of splashed potatoes.
Of course.
Because it's the nearby village where else they get their stuff. But there's also a lot of cooking oil. And so you'll both be pulling down like actual crates of this stuff. We'll say that you each get a crate, one of the potato and one of the cooking oil. I can word grant mouth the good.
You word well.
Yep. Words out of my mouth in the correct order.
You word good.
An autobiography by Grant.
Yeah.
So, how are we gonna get this down the tunnel without going down the tunnel?
What's your
Pastel?
throwing arm like?
What about
Yeah.
Pastel?
Well, yeah, can't Pastel just kind of like do a little drive-by move? Or flyby, I guess?
I mean, he looks to Duds. He says, "You're the leader."
Yeah, it does. So, like, you put it on, right, and it goes over, and then you say, do a barrel roll, and it does a barrel roll, and it flies and splashes everywhere, and then we light it on fire.
Wait, we're gonna light Pastel on fire?
Not the carpet.
So what
No,
does
when
Pastel
the carpet
do?
comes back, the Pastel flies in.
Uh-huh.
We
Yes.
put all the stuff on Pastel.
Right.
Pastel flies in, and then Pastel goes and throws things everywhere. Right?
No, on
And
the
then
thing.
Pastel comes back.
On the thing. Okay,
And
so
then
here's
Pastel
what I'm gonna
comes
do. I'm gonna send Pastel in there with all this stuff. We're gonna drop it off, and Pastel's gonna come back, and then we'll set it on fire.
All right.
Okay.
Good plan.
I like how you think, Dudley.
Thanks. All right, let's get it done.
Resourceful.
Hey, Thurk.
Yeah.
Real quick, I owe you an apology.
You're gonna punch me, aren't you? Look, I deserve it. Go ahead.
Apology redacted.
Just
I
punch
take it
me.
back. No,
Aubrey punches Yorthor, and then starts whistling.
that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I didn't do it. I was gonna say.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Where do you hit me? Where's like the shoulder? Or?
Oh, he didn't even like really hit you. He just kind of like against your
okay.
chest, like jokingly. Thump.
Oh, that felt like an auto hits.
Okay.
While
now
you
I
guys
do
are
want
doing
to-
this, I'm like crying over my best friend's body. By the way.
Oh man, only at my table.
I'm just on the side talking. I'm just on the side talking to Oberdan about how like
You have a
you know
dead
my
eye
eye's
now.
gone.
So like the two serious
And
people.
we're punching each other.
Yep, that sounds like Yorthor Ganato.
That's so great.
And Aubrey, now that I think about it.
I'm not punching anyone. I'm
You
trying to give a
and
compliment.
Aubrey's like, you totally hit him. I totally watched you. Like, he's putting on his best I'm totally lying voice.
All right, so we're doing this plan, right? So when that's done,
Yeah, you can load up the carpet. Pastel will go down. Now, what does Dudley specifically tell Pastel to do?
Hey, Pastel, you listening? Alright, we're gonna put
Continues
all these
talking.
things on top of you, and you're gonna crawl up tight and go through this tunnel towards the big scary monster fish in the back. And then you're gonna shake your rug body
Oh God.
and drop everything right next to the scary monster. Then you fly back towards me as fast as you can.
Could have been shake your thread count.
I know,
could
I
have
wasn't gonna
been-
do it. I couldn't do
There's
it.
There's a lot of options there.
I lost it.
Shake what your tailor gave you. Like,
Yeah, okay, see?
ooh, nice.
Rug body's good
I
too,
lost
though,
it.
Jane.
Okay. I didn't think it was very good.
shake your tassels. Like,
Shake your tassels. Oh, I failed. Okay?
to be fair, I don't think that it would be in the spirit of Dudley to really use
No, you're
those
right.
phrases, though. So,
You are right about that.
Okay, Pastel.
Pastel will make the motion that rugs make when they agree.
Pastel, avoid all. Oh no, actually, Dudley didn't tell it. Emery didn't tell us about the tentacles in the roof, right?
Nope.
I told you there were tentacles. I didn't know there were tentacles. So there were tentacles on the roof.
No, they dug bore through the ground and was dangling.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were.
That's where
But they were
our
like.
fly, but yeah.
So, Otto, Hjorthurk, and Aubrey can load up a bunch. Aubrey will suggest maybe sending half of what we have here, just in case our first deposit doesn't go well. And then sending in another deposit before we do the whole thing, if need be.
Okay.
So that's what
Somebody loads up the bottles, and then the carpet. You know that thing you do with your tongue? Yeah.
I can't do
Mhm.
that.
You can't do that?
It's a guarantee.
do
Every time
that.
you bring this up, somebody at the table will be unable to do it. It's so weird.
I can't do
Some
that.
people just can't do that. Like, so the carpet does that, like rolls up like a taquito, filled
yum.
with explosive
God,
tastiness.
Mm,
Taquitos are so good though.
Ah,
bursting with.
Mexican flavor.
Wow.
Alright.
I like that. That's specifically. I can share this moment with Snugs because that is exactly the sort of thing that you would read on like one of those obnoxious little sideboards that's supposed to like invite you into this place to eat. Bursting with Mexican flavor, begging the question, "What the fuck is Mexican flavor?" And you're like, "I don't know if I want to eat here. This sounds like a terrible idea." I've had that moment. This
That's funny.
so- it sounds mildly inappropriate for work, you know, like. All right, so you load up the carpet will roll up into a tube, and then it'll shoot down the tunnel, and then it'll shake all about, and there will be the sounds of like shattering glass as it flings this stuff everywhere.
Oh my god.
And Aubrey is like looking at it because there's still got a light enchanted rock on the other end of the tunnel, right? So Aubrey's like looking at it, he's just like, Wow, that went like everywhere. That's amazing. That's good. The fire will spread. Do it again. Do it again. Pull it back. Pull it back. He looks over at Dudley.
Come here, Pastel. Come here.
Calling it like a dog.
And it'll like
That's
rocket
a
down the
good
tunnel
girl.
again. And it'll make the motion that like the rest of us would be hearing, like tires screeching, like wee, as it like that was the worst tire screech I ever made in my life. Well,
That would have been
like,
my
stop.
best.
And it'll like flatten out.
Yeah, it would have been.
We're agreeing.
Well,
We load up to round 2 and
Yeah, round
Same
2.
deal.
All right.
And then it'll come back and I'll be like, all right, fire.
Fire.
aren't there those braziers?
Can we slingshot the
I
braziers?
don't think so. Can we?
Well, with the bones, we light a crossbow
Can someone
tip.
just fireball in there?
I've got something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not exactly lightning, but
will it ignite?
probably.
Well, let me
I don't
ask you a
know.
question.
Is the sun hot? Well, it used to be.
Emery,
Bad-
are your
bad,
I don't really know how your spells work. Are they like precious to you? In a like they're really important.
I don't give them names. No.
No, I just mean
This
if
is
you were
Paquito.
if you were to use one in this situation, would that? Do you feel like you could better use them in other situations? I guess.
I was half tempted to give it to Dudley here for a little bit of revenge. But,
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I could do something like that too. I was just checking. Never mind me. Never mind.
All right, well,
I mean, look, I was going to cast Searing Light, and blast it, and then hopefully blow it up.
Do
I don't
it.
know.
I think Dud should get shot. I think you're spot on the money there. That was Dud's the one carrying the light now, so
I get
I
it,
think Dud
but
should be the one to cast it.
my mother always told me revenge never made you feel better about death.
Is
This is a bit more than revenge at this point.
And your mother would be right. What we're doing isn't taking revenge. What we're doing is making certain that what happened to Skippy doesn't happen to anyone else.
I definitely don't want that.
Right?
Okay.
I don't know if you
Pastel
wanna
needs to
take
go
it.
get the bodies.
Yeah, should probably do that.
I mean, the oil's not going anywhere, right?
Well, it's sticking to the bodies, so
How
you
many
probably need to
bodies
clear them
are
out
in there?
completely.
Well, there's only one way to find out. I mean, we could ask M, but let's not.
Okay.
We just
Well, yeah, how about how many were there when I was looking?
Yeah, about 15.
It's about a minute's worth, 15.
The fact, M, that you can still measure a pile of corpses in an amount of time is telling.
Yeah.
So, are we going to use the spell or just light a crossbow or sling thing?
Duds is going to cast the spell after we get those bodies out.
Yes.
Oh.
There are adventurers' guilds that probably want their friends to have burials.
So we're using the carpet.
Yeah. All right, Duds.
All right. Here I go. And I'm going to approach the tunnel and kind of peer through it.
Are we getting the...
Hey, what is he doing?
Are we getting the bodies?
We gotta get the bodies.
Sorry, I was about to blow everyone up. Alright, Pastel, get in there. You're gonna pick up a body, you're gonna bring the body back in a taquito form. Uh-huh.
How do you roleplay a carpet twisting like...
That's great.
You get like an actual carpet. You just flap it in front of your camera.
Yeah. What? No, it's just like
Horrifying.
I'm glad that's not getting clipped.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
There you go.
Oh,
my
excellent
God.
props. Oh, look
Oh, yeah.
at Pastel go. Montage.
Production.
Pastel.
Pew, pew, pew,
Pastel.
pew.
Pastel.
just goes over here, and then it's just like, oh, got the body all tangled up in the. It goes back, and then.
Wow, we.
We're adults.
I like this show. Hold on, I can. Just all right. So the bodies will be gathered. That'll take a little bit of time. About a minute. 15 bodies. It's not just bad that he measures piles of corpses in time. It's that he's correct. That should disturb you.
Yeah, I am skeeved out by one-eyed Willie over there.
Yeah, Willie, really? Of everybody in the party to be accused of being a dick, I didn't think Emery would be the first one to get it. That seems
I mean, but of all of the people in the party to be setting like way too many traps to protect the treasure after they're dead, I think Emery would be the most likely to go through.
You would definitely be the one who, before you died, made your tomb a gauntlet of traps. That's you, yeah. You're that person in the party. There's one in every party. Find out which one's at your table. Be very careful. And agree with all of their plans, because it's just safe for them.
Alright, Duds.
Alright.
The sucker.
There you go, Duds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hand over the searing light spell.
Alright. Cool. Alright, I will approach the tunnel again, and,
Dudley,
yeah.
don't miss.
Okay.
Thank you, Em.
There's a cat in the way.
Wouldn't be the same without that.
See anything?
That.
What are you doing?
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, Skippy, this one's for you, and for every other light out there. May you never extinguish. And I will cast Searing Light through the tunnel towards the back.
I'll go ahead and populate it so you can see what it is.
Please.
And range spell attack, right?
Ooh, that's a lot of dice. Okay.
Wow.
Yikes.
But, yeah, you're gonna want to roll the dice. So
So what am I rolling there? Just
a range touch attack.
okay.
Yeah. D20 plus Dex plus BAB, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Starting to sound like a
BAB.
Konami code.
So much 5th
towards the
edition.
end of that.
Yeah. So much 5th edition, you forget what BAB is, and then you remember there's a BAB.
I love BAB, man. BAB is my favorite.
Wow.
How?
That's so weird.
This is weird, I know, but
Oh, BAB is great.
Yeah, so my dex is 2. What's my
What is your BAB?
8 plus 8?
Sounds like
Okay.
a badly pronounced lyric
That's
from a
better
bad
than
song.
me.
Like, yeah, baby.
Oh, 12.
Well,
That's what I was gonna say.
But there's a size difference. Wait, is there 2 size differences? Because you're...
'Cause I'm
No,
small.
size. Dudley gets +1. There's no size difference calculated into the roll. Size difference is part of AC and part of attack. So because Dudley is a halfling, Dudley just gets +1 to hit. And because that thing is as big as it is, its AC is already penalized for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make
I
sure.
got
Size
a
difference is
12.
a grapple thing. No, it's not actually. I'm wrong again. You got a 12?
Yeah.
That will hit its AC of 9.
Oh,
It's
shit.
rooted into the ground and is huge sized.
Nice.
And it's 5d8 points of damage.
5d8. Wow. Okay.
or more.
You guys
'cause I'm
put
dead.
actual effort into making this an explosively fiery situation. Do your 5d8 and then give me 8d6.
And then, question,
Yes.
is it
Ooh, nice
considerably an undead creature,
Yes.
vulnerable to bright light?
Yes.
Then it also takes...
Well, no, it takes instead of the 5.
Oh, yeah. So instead of the 5d8, it takes, and then, so undead creature takes, 10d8 instead.
So 10d8 and then give me 8d6 for the explosion that follows.
Jesus.
Wait. More?
So yeah,
Yeah, do 10
so add two more d8.
It's like holding up piles of
Wait,
dice.
no,
and we
wait,
keep
wait,
giving
so-
her dice, and she's like, "More
You know,
dice."
5, 6, 7. Okay, sorry, wrong number. You need 3 more d8 on top of that.
You know what my
Okay.
favorite part of being the DM is?
Wow.
Not having to do
20
any of this effort or math and just letting you guys tell me the
36, 69?
Woohoo.
Nice.
No, 70.
numbers. I'm
70
not-
damage.
No!
Sorry. I can't stop the math.
I have been trying to muscle in on this gag this whole time, but Snugs has had this on such lockdown. I've got nothing to add to that. That's not even fair. I want to.
No, it is 69. It is 69.
Hey!
It's 69.
Yeah! One less damage.
Because I am horrible at math. It is 69.
One fewer. Everybody celebrate. Woo!
Okay, back to the gothic, spooky,
Alright,
scary
gothic,
setting.
gothic.
Gothic.
So I envision Dudley, right, with this spell and kind of like feeling the magic and starting to feel it kind of like go out of his hands, and then realizing that it's coming out not a fingertip that you point like you might think, but a whole both of your palm, and by the end of it you're kind of like like Hadouken right down the tunnel.
Okay.
And this beam of white and black fire, and with pure white arcs of lightning kind of like mixing in through it, will explode from your hands, and that's got a kick to it. So like you get kind of thrown back, like your feet scrape against the dungeon floor, kind of as you're firing this, and it rockets down the tunnel, basically incinerating all the little plants. And at that point, the ceiling and the walls of the tunnel will crack as you realize those aren't plants; those are the tips of this thing's tentacles, as it is rooted into the structure. And then the light will hit the beast itself, and there will be a slight of fire as it connects, and that itself will already like burn a massive, gruesome, like already charred, blackened, like the red of muscle and blood kind of blasted off of its side as the fire hits it. But then that fire sparks off of the beast and hits all of the oil and the alcohol that has recently been thrown. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it's not the gas that burns, it's the fumes.
Yep.
And so you don't see a little as the fire spreads from the beast. The entire room's air is just suddenly converted to flames.
Ooh.
Boom! The entire
feel
room.
it on my face to the tunnel, right?
Yeah, you feel like the coming out back at you, right? And there's that shock wave that also, in and of itself, the kinetic energy of that blast kind of throws you to your feet, or throws you off your feet.
Yeah.
And the stench of that is awful, first off. And second off, it causes the entire ground to rumble.
Well, we gotta get out of here!
Building shakes. And then, as Dudley is like, oh no, we gotta get out of here! It all settles down.
Did you get it? I mean,
Wait! I'm gonna look around.
Listen checks, everyone.
I mean, maybe we should.
I don't know.
I could go in and check. And he like grabs his sword.
I mean, maybe we should stay away from that tunnel in case it attacks us. If it's still
Or
alive.
there's like a backdraft.
Do we see the plants moving?
Great movie.
There are no plants in the tunnel anymore.
Nothing.
But you still have that light rock in there that would have survived the explosion. That light rock would have like ricocheted around like it had been caught in a Fusro daw in a tiny room, just like all over the place, right? And it would finally settle, and there will be nothing but right next will be this charred, limp. It's not like the whole head has been blasted off. The vines are kind of like mangled and smoldering, and it's not moving at all. It is definitively dead. It had 50 HP.
Nice.
Might have overdone it a little bit there.
I don't believe in the concept of overkill, you know me.
Hear that, Snugs?
What?
Nothing.
What? The concept of overkill?
No overkill.
No overkill.
What I miss?
Okay. I think it's dead now.
I mean, we could just leave. Unless you think
What
there's
about the
something
cult?
actually in there.
The cult members, they're gonna come back, aren't they?
I don't know. Is there, what else did we find? There's this, we got really distracted by this tunnel. And by distracted, I mean, like, we murdered the shit out of something, which makes me feel amazing. But with the tables, the brazier, did we find anything else?
Brazier. Okay.
I rolled really low, so I didn't search very well.
You want to give it a once over?
Yeah.
Before we go?
I'll scrub it down as best I can.
You just open a door and there's all the cult members going like,
they're all like chilling out in a room next door, like.
Oh, did you get rid of that thing? Thanks.
Thanks, yeah.
They were all like hiding out, like there's a monster in there now. What do we do?
There's a monster in there.
They're just under their beds in their robes.
Oh, that's so great. I'm so using that on my players next. Oh, God, that's so good. You just go into a dungeon, there's a huge monster, and like all the other guys are like, did you get it? Oh, thank God. Yeah, here, have the artifact, please. We were just here trying to guard it, and that thing showed up. Oh.
That wasn't supposed to be here at all. This was supposed to be my time to be the bad guy.
That's so great.
Then upper management came in and said, layoffs and why now you're gonna be fucking monster taking my jobs. I'm pretty certain that's a webcomic somewhere. I'm almost certain that's a webcomic somewhere.
Yeah, but guy has a place at the table. That's so good.
No, so we'll say, after having dealt with the monster, we give the place a once-over, and we will find something that we didn't find before, because the GM is an absolute fucking derpstick who forgot the whole reason that we were going into the basement to begin with, which was looking for Oberdon's uncle. And I do know what happened to Oberdon's uncle, and you are supposed to find what happens to Oberdon's uncle while we are here. But, to find out, we should probably have Gorbat at the table.
Oh yeah, that's like the whole thing.
I think that's a good time to say to find out. Tune in next week.
Hi there, I'm Gorbad, normally the resident dungeon master here on How We Roll, but for this particular campaign, I'm going to be taking a seat on the other side of the table to become a player. If you'd like to keep up with all things How We Roll, you can follow us on Twitter at How We Roll, check us out on Facebook at How We Roll, and you can also follow us on YouTube, and you've guessed it, at How We Roll. We also have a website, www.howweroll.com. Now, if you want to keep up with me personally, you can follow me on Twitter at Gorbad, and don't forget to check out my blog, www.thedmblog.com, for all things Dungeons & Dragons related, both for players and DMs alike. We will see you next time.
Sup, I'm Evil Squeegee, they, them, and as you can tell by now, Gorbat has made the mistake of letting me Dungeon Master a campaign on his channel. If you want to follow me on my channel, where I make the mistake of letting me Dungeon Master games on my channel, you can find that at twitch.tv/evilsqueegee. If you want to follow me on Twitter, at twitter.com/evilsqueegee, you can find inclusivity rants, gaming rants, rants about rants, and rants.
Is it on? It is. Greetings and well met, my friends. It is I, the great and powerful Thelenius Conch. My good friend the Snuggler has asked me so kindly to step in. If you want to keep up with what he's doing in the world, you can follow him at two places. The first is on Twitter at MattySweetTweet. And the second, of course, is Instagram, where you can follow him at MattyQuickPick. I see what he did there. Clever boy. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and don't forget the lavender.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of How We Roll. My name's Jane, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jane on Twitch with a 0, not an O. I also do stream like 3 times a week now, so you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JaneIvana. What do you gotta say, Norman? Sorry. Peace, suckers.
Hey y'all, Shagget here. I play various characters on How We Roll. This is the first campaign where Gorbat is a player, and I very much would like to enact my player vengeance on him, since he's usually the DM and I can't do that really, because he'll just, wish it away and make it irrelevant. Follow me on Twitter at @eneb_convos, and we can start a dialogue to find out the creative, awesome means that my character will get his character killed. Because isn't that what every player wants to do? I think so.
Hi, it's me, Satchmo. Player, how we roll. You follow me. It's